Thank you, Lisa and Drew. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon in the East Coast. Today, we're going to talk about a very, very important topic on the community college research in data analytics. We already heard in the morning sessions how critical this field is now. And John also in the previous session said about the skill sets which are required in today's marketplace. So we're going to talk about how I do in my classrooms, what research students do using all these tools. And then the second half of this presentation, we can talk about how we as an institution use all the data analytics there. Okay, is it working? Nope. All right, I'm Rajiv Malkan. I'm a professor at Lone Star College. I teach business and computer science. If you just want to contact me, it's always rajiv.malkan@lonestar.edu. As I told you, what we're going to start with is the curriculum, what we just started. We have a 2-year degree in Associate of Science in data analytics, which was approved by the state of Texas last year. Due to COVID, we just postponed the offering of classes beginning this fall. So I'll tell you about what my students are doing in its classrooms and what research they're doing. And then the next half will tell you how we at the Lone Star is creating a data culture and how we're using all the analytics to improve our student enrollment and student success rates. So that's the website. I've broken this down into different semesters. So we'll walk through each of the curriculum. So in the first semester, students are going to come and take obviously the introduction to computer courses. We are taking a business angle based on the advisory board said, and we already heard this morning that students has to understand the business processes. So that's why we are taking a business angle to this degree program. And so the business principle was added to it, and in computer programming, they start with Python as the course in the first semester. All right, in the second semester, they start with the SQL, and then we start with the data visualization analytics class. We go in more detail about each of this data analytics class. What we have done is there are basically only 5 new courses we had to develop. The rest of the courses we already had it in some of the programs, so we piggyback some of the classes, like we teach in SQL in a database curriculum already. So we added that up, and database is so critical for the data analytics curriculum. Then we have advanced spreadsheet. You already heard this, John, this morning. Why spreadsheets and Excel is so very critical. So in the first class, they learn the basics of Excel, and in the second course in advanced spreadsheet, we just go deep dive. And we do some analytics using this Excel only also. So I'll show you some examples on that. And since everything is moving in the cloud, we added a cloud analytics program based on the advisory board recommendation. And obviously we have stats, analytics without some stats class is not possible. So we added a business stats class and some advanced tools and programming classes. And we'll go all this in detail in just a second, okay? All right, so that's the curriculum. So let's talk about the 5 classes which we developed. Okay? So any community colleges can do this. You already have all these courses on the inventory really quick. So in the introduction to data analytics, we teach the Excel, we take the Power BI and Tableau, both of them available free to the educational institutions. So you can literally start this curriculum very fast out there. So Power BI and Tableau are their 2 major tools out there in the industry. So we teach our students the first half, 8 weeks, we do Power BI, and the next 8 weeks we do Tableau. So this is what the visualization looks like. We take a raw black and white spreadsheet data and make it more visuals, more colorful, so that you can make some decisions really quick. We can take a real great snapshot of what the data you have. Okay, we can do map things out there. We can go by zip code analysis. We can do different kinds of data, digging into all the data out there. On a cloud computing class, we have it. We are using the Azure platform because we are a Microsoft shop. So it was very easy for us to get the licensing and everything. And the Azure allows us to, each student, they give you a $200 credit on a cloud. So that way students don't need a credit card or nothing. So that's what we're looking for. And so we went with the Azure platform in the cloud analytics. And the advanced one in the analytical tools, we are teaching Python for data analytics or data science. And the advanced one, we are introducing the R, because now by this time, the students already know a lot of stats. So it's very easy to bring the stats back into the analytics. And R is such a very, very good tool. I can write a 2 lines of code in R, which I can do a lot of regression analysis in other languages. So that's what we took R. And we're going to add the Power Platform to it. And the Power Platform has got the AI builder, the artificial intelligence builder. Since artificial intelligence is all based on data, it's a data-driven system. So we are going to bring a lot of this data and show the students how the artificial intelligence algorithm works in the Power Platform in this curriculum. And then the last one is the predictive analysis. Now you know everything, you got the data sets, you got the things, you have the thing, and now let's try to predict what you think things are going to happen on whatever data sets you're working on. All right, so this is just a student research out there. To give you an example of spreadsheets, right? John, in the previous session, everything mentioned about spreadsheets is so critical out there. In the business world, if you look at it, what the KPIs are becoming so popular. What is the what the key performance indicator? Okay, the way this bullet graph works in spreadsheet is you have 3 basic segments of data. What is the lowest thing you are okay with? What is the mid-range you're okay with? Okay, and what is the target? The line you see that in the lower graph or there, is that the target I need to reach? So now where do you get this data? So this is the student data. I just told the student, hey, do the research. I explain how the bullet graph works. Okay, and then we get the CDC data of all the COVID vaccinations by different states. Okay, so I gave one state. So this is the state of Ohio. One student did it on that. And just giving an example, when you get 20, 30 students up there, we just give each one in a different state and tell them to pick up the data from the same data sets. And then we will kind of see how these bullet graph work. So in this data in the upper left-hand corner, you see, hey, 50% vaccination was okay. That's a force. Okay, 70, that's what we want to be maximum at least. We would prefer an 80 would be a target. And now if you read that data, it makes you sense. See, 80 is the target, okay? But only 53.8% are vaccinated. Okay, that we are not reaching our 70% goal yet, okay? So it's very easy to visualize, and the data is live. You see the bar graph, the center black one moving in and out, depending on the vaccination data, live data popping up. Okay, now this is all student research, okay? Students have done it. I just give them the information. I just give them the concept, and they do the research on that. Okay, this student went a little bit ahead and did 4 different target sets because she was interested in learning more about how the 4 quarters of their business works. So she went to the Google website in finance and found the 4 different quarters and data of the NVIDIA stock. And based on that, she did the 4 different stock analysis by quarter, what the targets were, what the analysts were saying, what the minimum and the maximums are, right? People who buy stocks, you understand that, right? The analysts would always say that the earnings per share is between $2 to $2.24 or $2.25. So the minimum was 2, maximum was 2.25. And those were the 3 bars you see, the 3 different colors of blue. That's what their ranges are, what the analysts were predicting. All right. Okay, now they hope to see Halloween is coming. Everybody's trick-or-treating. Okay, there is a database. This is the same database that the person in Cincinnati, Ohio, He's been putting his house databases, how many people are coming to my house, and he has a lot of data, okay? So I had the data sets there, and I didn't went and updated, but some students did. This is all I gave them. I just told them, this is the data, this is the year, this is the time trick-or-treaters came, and in 2016, I had 822 people walk my house, okay? And look what people can do for it. There you go. This is much more visual from the black and white. Okay, this student went ahead, because I always tell the student, what story you want me to tell? They asked me, initially they asked me, what should I do with the data? I said, what story do you want to tell? Okay, what story do you want to tell from the data sets you have? This is what you're given. The same thing in the business world. You'll be given something, you've got to figure out what story you want to tell based on the data, okay? So she said, oh, I want to see whether the temperature has an impact on the trick-or-treaters because there's some downturns, right? So what she literally did, she went to the almanac on the weather database. She went to the October 31st data, okay? And this is, as I said, this is Cincinnati, Ohio data. She went to the site, she put the zip code, she got all the data from that site and overlaid over my data sets, and we came out with this, right? If you look at trick-or-treat, right, we have a higher temperature, but still we have a lower number of trick-or-treats, right? So then she thought maybe rainfall must be a problem. So she went one more further down the road and see how information we can start digging more. I just had a plain spreadsheet. And now we're going deeper and deeper to find the issue, what it is. So then she went to the rainfall database and then overlaid the rainfall and the temperature database. And now she found, hey, listen, if you look at it in 2016, which is the highest, the second highest trick-or-treaters. Okay, but the bolder one you see, that those are the days there was rainfall. Okay, the rain didn't have impact too much. Okay, hey, kids are kids, kids want to go. Okay, they want to trick or treat. So we could not find too much, obviously, based on some of the data, but this is all research done by the students in Tableau. Okay, this is Tableau one. Okay, what we found out, the Mondays, if the Halloween is on Monday, we have the most trick-or-treaters. Okay. All right. Then what happens? Students has to tell me what they did. If they're doing exactly, in this case, she took the data out from the almanac and how she cleaned up the data, because data has to be cleaned up. Data is a lot of garbage out there. They're collecting so much data, there's a lot of garbage out there. Okay, so you have to go and clean up the data, and that's what we call data wrangling. Okay, if the data wrangling is not done correctly, you will not be able to get the analytics correctly. So they have to show me exactly what they did, because when I teach them about integrity, you just can't delete the data because you don't like it. Okay, so you got to tell me exactly what steps you did to perform the data wrangling out there. There's a whole sheet out there. Okay, I'm just showing you just a little bit about all stuff out there. All right, this was another profit and loss data was given to the students and they find out which zone, whether Europe zone is not doing good or the Africa zone is not doing good. And then the base in the bubbles, okay, that shows you the sales area, how large the sales were in that region. And then the color, the lighter the color shows you that we are not making money. Okay, so there's lots of them. So we can go deeper and deeper into all this stuff. Yeah? Okay, this was another database. I gave them the data sets from 1896 to 2016 Olympics participants, right? Hundreds and thousands of data, right? We got enough data for the last 100 years. Okay, and then I told them, hey, do whatever you want to do. Make your own story. Okay, that's all they had. They had all the participants, the age group and what field they participated in, whatever, and what country they came from. And, okay, so there were two different data sets from NOC, from the National Olympic Committee, and then to overlay and find out, because here is the code word for what country was it, right? So they had to identify what country was that into the second database. So they had to overlay two data sets out there. Okay, so obviously I showed them the first time how to do a little bit of stuff, and then they do it on their own, leave them loose. They come up with great visuals. I said, tell me your story. Minimum 3 visuals I need. And the story should be compelling. and it should be persistent to what the story is about. The top 10 teams by the numbers of gold medals. Okay, and then we add it up. So we add that, then she went and said, okay, who are the fewest countries now? Obviously, there are countries who don't win. Okay, and then she plotted out how is the race between Russia and the United States in this century, right? We are rivals. Remember, China is still not there. China is coming up, but China just started. Okay. All right, this was another one. So then one say, okay, if everybody's looking at the highest number, I'm going to look at the lowest number. What are the top 10 least medal earners in the United States? All right. These are the sports where we are competing, but we're not earning medals. Maybe the NOC, right, they should analyze, hey, are we spending money? We should keep spending money, sending athletes over there, right? If the budget cut comes and things like that. Just to show you how deeper down the data we can keep going on and on. Oops. All right. Okay. All right, what do we do at Lone Star? So what we're trying to do at Lone Star, so that was on the student side, okay? So hopefully I'm on track, yes. Okay, halfway down the mark. So institution-wide, what we had done about 7 or 8 years ago, we started what we call the analytics and institutional reporter division. We created an air division. And after 1 or 2 years, we started what we call data camp. We have a one-day conference. Okay, then we invite the local community colleges and tell them what we're doing. And we started the data institute about 4 years ago, where we said, okay, we want a data-centric thing. So the faculty and staff should understand how the data works and things like that. So that they can do their own research, they can do their own thing, the department chairs can do their own detailed analytics of whatever they want to do. So we started the data institution, and we take about 20 to 25 people. It's a very, very competitive process. Okay, everybody can apply, and we pick 25 people. Remember, we're pretty large, right? We have 7 campuses, so we're pretty large out there. So we do that to create a data culture out there. So this is the website from the air. You should be. So we create dashboards. There are public dashboards and there are proprietary dashboards. Okay, so obviously whatever the public dashboards are available, we give everybody the same information, right? Because we have to give a report to the state anyway. All right, so we put everything on the public dashboard, what we think people may want to see and learn from it. So all the dashboards are created, enrollment funnel, what they call how many credit, how many non-credit students, okay? And everything is on a dashboard out there. So this is just a simple example of spring enrollment already started, right? Registration already started. So we're going to start tracking that registration process, okay? And then we can start having hit the target, how compared we are with last time. So what we call is a 0 day. Okay, 0 day is what? I think after Martin Luther King Day, I think January 18th or 19th, correct? So now from January 18th, 19th, we have about 46 or 45 days, whatever it is, right? And we keep tracking those numbers against the last semester's comparison and against this year. So we got enough data to start comparing from 0 day, how many days we start registration and how many days we got to finish it. So this dashboard keeps track of that. All right, this is the simple stuff that everybody does it, okay? But we go much deeper down with the Power BI and the Tableau. We use Power BI as a default main thing because Microsoft gives a good deal with Office 365 and all, okay, for licensing agreement. So we create so many reports out there. You name it, you got reports on anything you want to do, okay? And it's available for all the faculty and staff who got access to it. Okay? Since I'm what I call the champion, so I'm the only one of the faculty member who is inside this. I can have access to a lot of stuff. What we found out, the sequence course analyzer we did is just an amazing tool to find out. We're not shooting in the dark. Computer programming 2, I know I need computer programming 1 and prerequisite, correct? In computer programming 1, I offer 7 sections. I don't have to offer 7 sections in computer 2 because certain people failed, certain people withdrew. We have done the whole analytics on that, and then the department chair, while they're planning they will make sure that I need only 4 sections. I don't need 7 sections. Okay? So just to show you out there, there's a number of applications out there. Okay, division enrollment, anybody can go into it. All the deans have access to this dashboard, room usage website out there. Okay, the course enrollment, the top 20 course enrollment, this is what we call a bread and butter. Are we at 100% capacity or not? Are we filling up those rooms or not? Okay, we don't advertise all the sections. We may have 100 sections, correct? But we only advertise about 90 or 89, 80% to the public first. When all those are filled up, then we start adding one, but it's budgeted. Okay, but we don't see it. So that way we don't even cancel classes. How many people cancel classes? In higher ed, the average is 23%. It is unreal thing. Classes cancellation is the biggest problem in higher ed. Okay, we don't cancel classes now because we have the tool sets which we think will determine and predict how many things we have. Okay, then we do the section management, look at the capacity, the red, the white, you know, different color coding systems. If you're not at capacity yet, hey, keep it open. We open courses. All right, we're not going to add one more section. Okay, so we have that. We comparing COVID withdrawal and see last year's withdrawal and this year's withdrawal. Does COVID have any impact on our students, mental health, all the issues, and things like that. Oh, this is one of the biggest things we've done in the last year was the purge. We purged students, right? For non-payment, 10 days, 15 days before. And they all come back. Look how many resources we are wasting. Every time they come, they occupy the advisor's time. They have to occupy the business finance people's time, the financial aid person's time. Okay, we have done a great analysis of, okay, how many are going then? How many are non-purged? How many of them are paid? How many of them are non-paid? How many are financial aid? How many academic plan is going to be impacted? What are the zip code people are not coming? How many multipliers are? I mean, how many of the same students is purging every time, not paying any time? All right, and we have done the whole stuff. Okay, and now we're zooming in. Okay, we have brought down from 14-something% to 3.5%. Okay, look at the resources we are saving and how much time we got to do, because we are canceling classes ahead of time. 10 days before, we look at the number and oh, even at 5 students. Hey, but there were 20 before, 15 didn't pay. Right? 15 didn't pay. So think about all this stuff, you know. Data analytics go deeper and deeper analysis of per student rate, or we get academic plan. If a student is purged, we found out the same students will not take the same class. The worst case scenario you found out was 9 semesters. He took that calculus 3 class, but he did not come back to the same calculus 3 class after 9 semesters, 4.5 years. And you'll be complaining students not graduating in time. Okay, so we change all that. We're changing all that. No cancel classes, no stuff. Okay, same thing with prior enrollment, financial aid.